Hey team, I am back today and I have found this site, 30 front end challenges, and I love it. It has a lot of challenges from places like Front End Mentor, really cool visual stuff on Front End Mentor, and various other things, right? There's challenges for all kinds of UI in here, there's some games, there's further down a password checker, lots of cool stuff. So you'll probably see this showing up in a few videos in the future. But today I want to look at this accordion component. It's not the fanciest UI, and the way that they have it structured, it feels very complicated to me. So I found an easier way to simplify it, and in fact, that's I defaulted to that first, and we are going to look at that now. Okay. So the challenge, if you click the link here, click the link, it will take you over to this page where it is on Devtools-Tech, and it is implementing an accordion in React. I don't think we need React. In fact, you're going to see that we don't need JavaScript at all for this, which is pretty cool. But they ask you to make an accordion, and in fact, they want you to do a compound component, which is very, very interesting. Compound component means that the children kind of depend on the parent. So we will be doing this in the second half of the video, but to get started, we won't. We'll just do it in HTML and see what happens. Okay. Here's a demo of it. So if you look at this, they click, and you'll notice something really interesting. I want to back up just for a second there. Okay. They clicked right about here, and nothing happened. That feels like a bug to me. If you have like an FAQ, you would expect to be able to click that whole thing, but they're jumping around. It only allows one to be open at a time. Pretty straightforward FAQ stuff, okay? Depending on your use case. We're going to take that on. In fact, thanks to the challenge, there's actually a demo here where they do exactly that. Now, this one does have the button extending all the way across, which is quite nice. That's how I would expect it to be. But again, only one at a time. Okay? Let's do it. Let's make our own. So back over to the terminal. Okay? I'm going to cd into my learning folder right here, and I'm going to set up a React app. Now again, we don't need React for this, but they want it that way, and I want to teach it completely. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to use Vite for that. Okay? So npm create Vite at latest, and let's call it Devtools-Tech. Sure, Devtools accordion. Losing my mind on names there. And we hit enter. It's going to go through. It's going to ask us which one we want. We're going to go with React. If we were getting really fancy, we could use TypeScript. But for today, we're just going to use regular old JavaScript. So follow the rules. cd into Devtools-Tech, Devtools accordion, and npm install. It's going to go through the process and do that. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. I should have like some elevator music here. I didn't expect it to actually take this long. There it is. And npm run dev. Now, before that, I do want to open this into code. Otherwise, I'll have to stop it and restart it. Okay. So we're going to open that into code right here. And now we can go back, npm run dev. Okay. And it's going to fire up. We can click on this and we get our app. Now, it comes with a lot of boilerplate. We're going to gut that. Okay. Let's do that really fast here. So we get rid of pretty much everything inside of here. So this file right here, we don't need it anymore. We can just get rid of it. It's going to break a few things, but that's okay. That's going to be right here. We're going to get rid of that, save it, and you should see things already changing, right? We're going to go up to the app CSS, get rid of that for a moment, okay? That's going to get rid of some stuff. And then inside of app, all of this goes away. We're going to replace it with an H1 that says hello, just so that we have something there. Get rid of the counter. We don't need that. and all of this stuff gone, cleaning it up nice and orderly. There is an assets folder in here. You can delete that as well. Moving fast because this doesn't really apply to the learning today. I do recommend leaving the Vite SVG. That one is used for the icon. Apparently not in Safari, but yeah, that's used for the icon. This is a holdover. It's kind of caching funny. I can't really change that. Okay. So here we are. We're good to go. Now, before we start, I do want to set up proper DevTools. So I'm going to git init, just like this, and git status, just to see what's in there. It's everything that we had. So git add dot git commit -m using conventional commits. So we're going to go chore initial commit. Or if you're the Primogen, Batman, because he has no parents. Apparently that's a pretty funny joke. So there we go. Initial commit, we are there, and we are ready to go. Now, npm run dev, okay? So we're going to bring that back up. Hopefully, there it is. Should be the same port, so we should just be able to refresh this and get going, okay? Now, again, we don't need HTML for this, or we don't need JavaScript for this. Sorry, we definitely need HTML. We don't need JavaScript for this, but we are going to try and do it a little bit Reacty. So I will create a new file. We'll call this accordion. Get out of the way so I can see it, because I always forget that D for some reason. Accordion, and inside of there is going to be index.jsx. Okay, so we're creating a folder. And inside of there, we're creating that index.jsx, and here we are, okay? Const accordion, like this, equals a function, right? And we return something. Let's do an h2 in here, okay? Hello from accordion. Perfect, okay? Just to make sure that this is actually not going to collapse on me, because we're going to do stuff in here, I'm going to add a div. And that way, when I save this, it's not going to fold into a single line. Okay. Export default accordion. There it is. Save it, bring it back to the app, and plug it in. So right here, accordion, it will hopefully import for you. If it doesn't, you'll have to type that line out and close it off. Now, could we do a single thing here, right? A single element? Yeah, we could, okay? But we're going to add stuff in between here later on. So let's just leave it the way that it is. And we see hello from accordion. Brilliant. Let's get rid of this because this is not useful to us. Save it. We're back to there, and we can go to this, okay? Now we have this div. I'm going to add a class name, and it's going to be FAQs plural. We aren't actually going to use that class name, but I want it to be there so that you can visualize in your mind that everything inside of here is some form of FAQs, okay? And then from there, we are going to add in our content, okay? And for this, we are going to use details and summary, okay? So right here, we have details. We want, I think, 2 of them, right? And there's going to be a summary and another div, okay? So it's going to create this shape in here. We're going to have to fill some stuff in, but right like that, we can go way over here and find that content somewhere. It should be the first one, Devtools-Tech with an emoji. We can grab that, paste it in, and then this block right here, all the way down, copy it, paste it between this div. Now the reason for the div, okay, is because maybe I want this to be inside of a p tag, okay, and I paste it in, and then maybe below that I want another paragraph tag, just like this, with something else, okay. And you don't really need the div to make this work. You could have multiple paragraphs, but for styling, especially if you want to animate things and do stuff, you want to have a single child here for details. Okay, so summary has to be there, and then a single containing block for everything else. And that just makes some of the styling a lot easier. Okay, so going back a little bit, I don't need the paragraphs today, so I'm just going to paste this in and move on. Now, down here is it free? Some weird code highlighting there. Is it free? And yes, the platform and YouTube are both completely free, which is quite nice. There we go. So we've done the thing. We save it. Let's go back to our browser, find that window, and already we have some good stuff. We have a working FAQ. Again, no JavaScript here. This just works. It's available in every browser. Okay, so we can totally do this. Okay. Now I want to go and commit that. Okay. So let's stop for a second. Git status. Git diff just to see what we're doing. That's exactly what we're doing. So git add dot. Git commit. This one is a feature. Let's call it FAQs. Okay. Add base markup. Brilliant. Now we can bounce back up to our dev command. Okay. It's going to restart really fast and add some styles. Okay. We want to add styles here just so that we don't have to worry about it later. Okay. And the styles are quite basic, right? Like there's not a lot of stuff going on here, so we can do that pretty quick. Okay. So into app.css. Could I put it inside of Accordion, right? Some sort of index.css in here and import it? Yes, I could. But for this basic example, I'm not going to get too fancy. Okay. I'm going to add a standard reset here. And that reset is going to be block sizing, border box. Yes, just like that. And then down below, we're going to add that body tag. Okay. And inside of there, I want, yes, the font to be 1M so that every 1M and sorry, sans serif is the more important part there, dragging stuff around just so that it looks nice. And then down below, we can add in our styles. Now, before I do that, I want to add a couple things here. As an example, I want a space 50, and that's going to be 4 pixels. Okay. And a couple more. There's going to be 100, which is 8 pixels, and I think 24 is all I need for this, which is going to be 300, just for some sizing. The other thing that I should do, is put this in the right space. Sorry, let's go and do that really fast. Does it have to be there? Not really, but let's make it right. Okay, so we have some spacing. Box sizing, I'm going to set margin to 0, padding to 0, just so that it's nice and clean. Everything kind of pushes up into the corner. We're going to come back to it, okay? Right here, that margin, we're going to bring it back, and it is going to be spacing 300. There we go, a little bit nicer. Down below, we have our details. This is where most of the work happens, okay? And inside of details, we have a border, okay? That border is going to be 1 pixel, and we should set a color, okay? This can be gray of, let's say, 300. For now, we're going to make it silver, okay? So we can totally use that down here. That's var dash dash, yes, absolutely, which should give me an outline. Excellent, okay? From there, we want to style the summary, okay? And I want to spell it right too. So there it is, summary. Now, I don't know about you, but any sort of button, I really like to have it with that finger, okay? So that when we go over top of this, we get that nice pointer, okay? To let people know that they can do something here. So we're going to do that. We're going to add in some padding, okay? So the padding is going to be a var for top and bottom. We're going to do 50, and for the sides, we're going to do 100. Let's do 100, okay? Just giving it a little bit of extra space in there. Another thing that we can do is get rid of the styles, okay? So the little triangle, you should actually have something, but if you want to, in most browsers, you can remove the list style. Just set it to none. Unfortunately, because I'm in Safari, I need a little extra thing in here, so we're going to go and do that. It's going to be --web, WebKit. Do you think it's going to come up? WebKit-details. Nope, doesn't want to. I thought that was going to auto-complete for me. It totally isn't. Display none is what we want, and that should get rid of it. I am missing something. I have too many dashes, don't I? There it is. And now it's gone. Now it's nice and clean. Maybe we add just a little bit more space to this. I don't know if we need it. And then a background color, okay? Because this is our summary, and that's going to be that gray as well, okay? So now when we open this, we have this. Now we do need to take care of the div, right? So let's go and do that really fast. That's going to be right here. The child div is going to have padding of, where's my autocomplete? That's weird. --300, okay? That makes it all nice and glued together, okay? So we can still open both of them, not quite what we want, and if we refresh, it closes both of them as well. But that's okay. It's starting to look kind of like this. Color is wrong. We can change that really fast. Maybe it isn't this gray. Maybe it is white smoke, which will not have enough contrast, but there we go. Kind of the same. I actually like the silver better, so I'm going to back it out and leave it as silver. Okay. Let's go commit that really fast. So shut it down, get status. Yes, get diff. Perfect. Git add dot git commit -m style FAQs. There we go. Add base styles, right? It's pretty basic styles, but there we go. Go back up to my start command, get it done. Excellent. So a few things here, and again, we don't need any JavaScript. It's all just working. But in the example, if you go over here, or even here, I think, and refresh this. Oh, they didn't, but I think in their example, didn't they have it? No, they didn't. Okay. I'm sure that I've seen examples where one is open by default, right? Quite common. So if you wanted to have one that was open by default, let's say the first one, you can totally do that. So let's go over here to my thing. And on the first details, I'm just going to type open, which is an attribute that does exactly that. So now that one is open by default. Pretty cool stuff. It all still works, right? There's no magic here. It's just telling it that when we reload this page, wherever it is, I want that first one to be open. So good stuff. Now, how do we get it so that only one of these is open at a time? And there is a way. It is called name. Just like for checkboxes and radios, right? If you have the same name, then it will only allow one to be open at a time. So we can call this FAQ for now. FAQ, not FAW, right? Copy that, paste it right down here, just like this, and save it. And now it all just works, which is amazing. Again, no JavaScript. We could put this anywhere. It doesn't need React. It doesn't need any sort of framework. It just works. You could do this today in PHP if that was your language of choice, right? You could do that. You just output the right markup with the right attributes, and it all just works. Really cool stuff. In fact, I want to go one further just to show this. Right down here, I'm going to add a third details, okay? Just like this. And inside of there, I'm going to go summary lorem 4, okay? Just to get some stuff, and a div with more lorem text just to see the magic happen, and add that name, okay? So now I have 3, refresh it. Now only 1 can be open at a time, okay? Really cool stuff. Let's commit, and then we're going to make it very React-y, okay? So back over here, shut it down, git status, git diff, changed a few things, added another details block. Excellent, okay? So git add dot, git commit dash m. This is still the feature for FAQs, okay? Oh, like this. Add open logic, okay? And in fact, again, we didn't have to do anything. The browser gives us this for free. So the logic just works. All we had to do was add those attributes. Really cool stuff. We could spend time animating it and doing stuff, but now I want to get into the final part of this, which is making it a compound component, okay? So right here, I'm going to run that. Compound components allow us to have multiple things, but the parent controls the child. That's important, just like anything. The parent controls the child, and at the same time, the child can control itself. So it gives developers a very nice experience when they're putting these together, okay? Underneath the hood, it's still going to output the exact same code, but the developer experience is very powerful, okay? So right back to code, just like this. We already have this running, and we are going to start moving these into some new components. The first one is going to be the item, which is the entire parent, okay? So we're going to grab this, and we're going to move it into a new file called accordion with a D. I always forget the D. That's so weird. Item index.jsx, okay? That should create an index.jsx file, at which point we can go const accordion item, toss it in there, and return this, okay? So we're just doing it. I forgot an equal sign, which is why it's kind of wigging out on me. Export default accordion item, okay? So we have the component. This is good. This is where we want to be. We actually want a couple more of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this really fast. And I'm going to move it. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to do something else first, okay? I'm going to clean out the details just like this. And we're going to pass in children, okay? Which means that now we need to do that up here, okay? So children, just like this. It's going to save. It's going to get red because it's missing props validation, okay? We can take care of that really fast. That will be accordion item dot prop types, plural. I don't know whether that's not completed properly. And then inside of here, we have children. Now, what do we put in here? Well, we need our prop types package, okay? So let's import, lowercase import, sorry, import prop types from prop types. Where is it? There it is, okay? I usually capitalize that T, I missed that, but now we can use this. So down here, we go prop types dot node, okay? Could you have this as multiple? So prop types node and prop types array of node or node array? Yeah, you could, but for this one, we're only doing a single child. I feel pretty safe here. This is okay. Some other things that we want to toss in, the open and the FAQ, okay? So we're going to do that really fast. That's going to be, or sorry, not the FAQ, the name we're going to pass that down. And the open, which is going to default to false. Okay. So we can go and change those. This is going to be open. And this one here is going to be name. Okay. Again, if I save that, it's going to scream. So let's go do that. Name is prop types dot string, and open is prop types dot bool. For some reason, they only use the first 4 letters. But there we go. That's our first component. Okay. At this point, we can copy this and make a new one. So inside of accordion, not accordion item, but accordion, we go new file, and we're going to go accordion toggle, okay, slash index.jsx, okay. Paste it all in, and now we're going to change some things, okay. So inside of that toggle, we only have a few things here. We're going to get rid of that, get rid of these. They are no longer relevant, and this should just be summary, okay. So cleaning it up a little bit, boom. The toggle is done. We don't need anything else. We can do the same thing. We're going to go to the accordion again, new file, and accordion panel, I think is what they called it, if I remember, slash index.jsx, which gives us that. We're going to paste it in again and change some things again. So again, open a name, go away. Open a name, go away. Okay, we don't need that. Get rid of these things because we don't need them, which leaves us with a div. And there it is. I missed a curly bracket, I think. Yes. Okay. Now, I forgot to change names, didn't I? So let's go do that really fast. Right here, this is panel. Okay. This is the panel, and toggle, I forgot to do that. So changing the names to proper names just to make sure that we are doing this right. Item should be okay. And now we are in really good shape. We do need to go back and change our first one, okay? But at this point, we have everything that we need. And what we're going to do is we are going to take this. So first, I want to grab all of this, okay? Because we're going to use it a little bit later inside of app. So right down here, I'm going to paste that and then comment it away, okay? Just hide it for a moment, okay? And then inside of here, inside of this accordion, we're going to do the final steps, okay? And the final steps look like this. We need to update this, obviously, to have prop types. We're probably going to use these. So let's do that. And this is going to be accordion. Should be that one. Good. Okay. Now we also need that that first line. So let's go and grab that. Copy it. Pop it right to the top, just like this. Excellent. Now inside of here, we are passing some stuff. As an example, we are passing children. Yes. And we're passing name. Now, if we don't supply a name, which is possible, we want it to be empty, okay? At which point, now we have all of this good stuff. Now, that name doesn't get used on the div. In fact, all of this goes away, and we want to do something with children, okay? Get rid of that. Excellent, okay? Name hasn't been used, which is why it's red. And if we go and look at our code base, it probably, yeah, it doesn't look great. But we're about to fix that, okay? So we need to do something to children. In fact, what we need to do is we need to take each child and merge it with this name prop, okay? So we're passing down name as a prop. We want that name to be on the children because that's the detail, right? That's the detail element. So we need to do some magic here. And the way that we do that is by not doing it this way. Instead, we're going to use something else, okay? And that something else comes from React. So right here, we go capital R React. And it should allow me to import that right at the top. depending on how you want it. Maybe you want it up here. And then on React, we get capital C children. Okay, and this is important. It has to be capital C because that allows us to do stuff like map. Now, this map function is unique. It's not your regular JavaScript map function. Okay, the first thing that we do is we pass in what we're going to do, or what we're working on, which is children. Okay, usually with map, children would be out here, and we would do that. But in this case, we're looking at lowercase c children. And then we pass in our callback, okay? And again, not a traditional callback, so don't think that you have everything in here, but there are some other things. For today, we only need child, and we are going to operate on that child. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to clone it, okay? And the reason that we're going to clone it is because with clone, we can merge data in. So we're going to take that child and we're going to blend it with this object that has name. That's it. That's the whole thing. Okay. We're returning a new array of children, and for each child, we're adding that name prop to it. Okay. We should be able to save this, and now we can do stuff. Almost, right? If we wanted to, we could go back over here and start building this out. So inside of here, this can have a name equal to FAQ like this. And then inside of here, we might add our accordion item, okay? So accordion item, and you'll notice right away that when I do that, it imports here. So we're gonna get a lot of extra imports, which kind of makes it hard to use, right? Wouldn't it be easier if we could just have a single import with all of the items that we needed? And we absolutely can, okay? So let's get rid of this for a second. Go back to accordion, and down here, we're going to export some new stuff, okay? We're gonna do this a couple times. So export as accordion item, whoop, just like this, from, and now we can do accordion item. In fact, we can do that 2 more times. So just like this, accordion panel, right? And accordion toggle. And now we have it, okay? So what we've done is we've set up a compound component. And what that means is that all of these different things, they're all separate. So it makes it really easy to maintain, but at the same time, it makes it really easy to use. So way over here, instead of that, this accordion, right? Which you can totally still use. It's still available to you. But now if I go and I search for accordion item, okay, you'll see that it's inside of accordion, right? So just like this, it imports that as part of accordion, which makes it really, really nice, okay? We're going to close that out. There is an accordion toggle, so we need that, right? Accordion toggle, right? Just like this. And of course, right here, capital A accordion panel, okay? And it imports all on a single line, okay? So there it is. Now, we already have this, right? We already have this down here inside of details and summary. So we can actually bring this up for a second. I'm going to put it right here just so we have it. Bring this back so that we can see it cleanly. All of these details, okay? Well, I didn't need all of them, but yes. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one, okay? Are all going to be accordion item, okay? And then we no longer need name. That can go away. In fact, I can grab that just like this, okay? The summary, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one is all accordion toggle. And the div right here, get them all accordion panel, okay? And at this point, this first one isn't needed anymore, but if I've done this, Now everything is back and it just works. Okay. If I change the name to something else, okay, it will do its thing. And if I leave the name off completely, because it is optional, then I can open them individually. So I still have full control of this. I can still add that open flag to different things and still get it done in a really nice, efficient way. Let's do a commit just before we wrap it all up. Okay. So right here, git status like this. Yeah, git add dot git commit dash m feat. Sorry, not that one, but feat FAQs. Make compound component. There it is. Forgetting how to type there for a second. Okay. And then start it back up. Okay. Excellent. So what have we done? Well, we've started out with our toggle. Okay. And I did not finish this. Where is it? Oh, here. Let's bring that back. FAQ. Okay. So, oh, that's weird. Why is the bottom one opening? Did I mess that up? I have a bug. Let's go find it. It is accordion item. What are you doing? I have a bug. What is it doing? Let's go find it. Open equals open. Okay, open equals false. That should just work. Down here into app. All of this code goes away. That's not important. So name is FAQ. We have open here. What am I missing? I got it. I totally made a mistake here. Okay. So way over here inside of this, it's not false as a string. It's false as a variable. So now it should work. I was passing a string. That was always going to be truthy. So now it just works. And the important thing here, so again, other than that mistake, look at the JavaScript that we've actually written, which is none except for React, right? We started out with setting up our HTML, which looks just like this. We have some details elements in here, right? And then inside of there is a summary and a div that holds the content, right? And then from there, we went and translated that all into React by breaking it apart and making it a compound component. So the final bit here is the why, just in case you missed it. The why of why to use details and summary is so that we have tab completion, or not tab completion, but we have some sort of accessibility already built in. So I can highlight this with tab, open and close it. I can jump around, shift tab, right? I can hit the enter key to make it open and close as well. The space key. It's pretty accessible that way. And then for the React side of things, making it a compound component way over here creates this really nice developer experience where I can still make changes inside of here, right? I don't need to necessarily pass data into a single component and have it all just figure itself out. I can still make changes about which ones get opened, which ones get closed, and whether or not I want only one to be open at a time. So really nice API system by using compound components. Do I use compound components a lot? No, I don't. Okay, in my work, we use them a lot for table-based layouts where things need to go together in a certain order, right? Which allows a lot of freedom and a lot of control. But for my normal everyday use, you probably won't see this in my code that much. It is cool that it's available, but I would probably have just gone with a detail summary because it's so simple, and there was no JavaScript. Now, if you needed to support, say, Internet Explorer, right? Then yeah, you would absolutely have to do this, and there would be a lot more logic inside of your main thing. You would have some state in here, right? And that state would do stuff. And the cool thing here, just to show you with comments, so you'd have that state, and then you would have a handle click as an example, right? And then you would pass that handle click down here as well, right? So handle click, which would merge with your children, and you'd be able to call up and maintain state in the top level accordion. Okay, so that's the other beauty of doing it this way. Again, for detailed summary, very simple, didn't really need it, but if you needed that extra logic to be passed down to the children from the parent, then this is how you could do that. Okay, but behind the scenes, let's not break stuff. Behind the scenes, it all just works using stuff that the browser already gives you. Did you find something interesting in this? Have you tried this before? Have you tried doing it with just JavaScript and found it very complicated because you have to go and add the accessibility stuff? I want to hear all of your comments on this. Hit me up in the comments and let's have those chats. Okay, I'm very interested to see if you like this or if you're sticking with the pure JavaScript approach for other reasons. Until then, have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.